This final week of immersion time at the store was as strange as the rest. For starters, there was a malfunction in the fire alarm, and it was set off for 40 minutes straight. That's right, 40 minutes of deafening, screeching noise, and we all just stood there, scanning away as if nothing was happening. One of the customers made a good point. She asked me what would happen in case of a real emergency, and how did we know if this wasn't a real emergency happening. I told her a supervisor would contact us, but really, I wasn't sure. It was a little unnerving to say the least. This last week is a good time to address an interesting aspect of the superstore culture, the co-workers. All in all, during my time, I've had a good time getting to know them. With the difficulties of the job, it's important to feel a sense of camaraderie with the other people in the trenches. Several weeks ago, a coworker approached me and asked me a couple of invading questions. I was polite to her at the time, but to be honest, she'd made me feel a little uncomfortable. A couple of days later, she approached me at the end of the day, at the end of my lane, just to say goodbye. It may seem strange that her behavior was unsettling, but understand that no one else has ever stopped what they were doing to say anything to me. After the brief incident at the end of my lane, I decided to ask a supervisor what to do in case anyone makes you feel uncomfortable at the store. The manager I spoke to said that if a customer does anything inappropriate, contact the SC or the service coordinator. And if it's a coworker that anyone makes you feel uncomfortable, then just ask them for some space. So after that, I made it a point just to avoid interacting at all. I tried not to make eye contact, but that was difficult because she kept staring at me. I didn't make small talk. I just wanted to leave the situation alone. I'm a happily married man, and I understand this woman probably had a crush on me. I didn't want anything to get misconstrued, and the strangest thing was that I had literally done nothing that could have been misconstrued. My attempts to avoid her attention worked for a while, until not long ago, when she approached me at my register and asked me if I thought she was a freak. I said no, but that I was married and didn't want anything to get misconstrued. I did what my supervisor had said and politely asked for some space. She said she was sorry and walked away. That should have been the end of it. 5 minutes later, she was back in my lane. She said, "Now you've made me angry," and walked off. There aren't a lot of things a stranger can say that are like red caution flags, but "you've made me angry" is definitely one of them. Over my lunch break, I met with the SDIC, or store director in charge. She was a very nice woman. I explained the whole situation and how my personal space had been violated on several occasions. The SDIC said she would sit down with the coworker and tell her directly about personal space and appropriateness. The news of "you've made me angry" didn't bode well at home. Audrey's been supportive of my decisions at work this whole time. She was outraged by this coworker's attitude and encouraged me to quit.